Goodman.
We are live, everybody. Hey there. I'm Angela O'Hare, your favorite Las Vegas realtor, and I got some people with me today. So let's start on the left. We got
Chris Chapman, buyer's agent for the Angela O'Hare real estate team.
And
I'm Rob Howe, Rockstar Realtor. I'm the realtor. You are the rock star.
Yay, we started on time. Let's get this a little situated because I'm very anal with the positioning. Chris needs to come closer to me.
Sounded strange. I gotta be honest.
She starts every video like that. We're not sure what genre we're going for, but we got a lot of clicks. We get a lot of clicks.
We get a lot of clicks. So obviously, today I wanted to bring Chris to our market update because Chris is my buyer's agent. And, a lot of times clients get calls from him and don't know really who Chris really is.
Why is this guy calling me?
Yes. So he's part of our team. And then Rob wants to
mind me, folks.
Rob's got a sidebar going.
I'm doing a promo for this so that I can make sure everybody checks it out.
Yeah, Rob's getting super big on his Instagram, Facebook, social media.
Check out a guy.
Yeah, he's got a guy that's doing phenomenal. You should check out his Instagram page. Was it Rob Howe?
Yeah, Rob Howe Realtor. HAU.
HAU?
Yeah.
Right. Are you going to record or what?
Well, just do your thing.
So, okay, folks, we're going to talk about numbers, and I need my glasses to see because the screen is super far away. So, obviously, the Las Vegas housing market boom sees no end. The prices are still booming, right?
Yeah. I'm filming. We're actually filming. I'm interrupting something to do a promo.
Yes. So, and don't mind the dogs barking because Izzy, of course, did not want to come in the room. And of course, Izzy likes to bark. But we got Fat Boy Ozzy here. So if you hear any panting, that's him. So we're going to get down into the numbers. Right, Chris?
Sounds good.
All right. So we always like to discuss always single family homes. However, we're going to start bringing in condos, townhomes a little, just because I feel that it's very important to start incorporating those numbers to see exactly where the market is shifting.
And we're starting to see more clients looking for those types of product as well.
Because they can't afford the single family house. So they're resulting to buying a townhouse or condo. But then that's become quite difficult. So let's jump into the numbers. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free. We love your interaction. We love your feedback.
Yeah.
All right, let's add to the numbers.
If we got boogers in our nose, please let us know.
It's really a bat in the cave.
Bat in the cave. Let us know.
All right, so obviously last month, actually, there were 3,272 single family homes that sold, up 30.2% from February, but down 12.2% from March 2021. So that means that obviously last year was like extremely crazy. Our months of supply was only at 0.5 months, but we are still just as crazy as we were
more so
last year. Yes. Yeah. More so because of the median price always increasing. So in the last few months, we haven't had an increase in sales, but there's always a correlation, and you'll see the correlation when we talk about it in the numbers. Okay. Right. So we had a huge month in sales last month.
Oh, goodness. They agree. Dogs agree.
You want to pull Izzy in?
On it. Okay.
Say, Izzy, get your ass in here.
Izzy.
All right.
All right. So that brings us to the median home price in Southern Nevada sets another record high for March. Okay. Yeah. Last month, when Rob and I did our market update, we forgot to bet on what the numbers were going to be. So with that being said, we could have bet easily.
It's going up.
It's going up.
Take a wild guess.
Yes. So last month we had a 10,000 increase in median price. It went from 450,000 to 460,000, which left us up 2.2% from February and 26.7% from March 2021, which is nearly almost 97,000 increase from last year.
There it is.
Nuts.
So the extreme thing to me is just the last 2 months. So that's 25K in 2 months.
Right. Yeah, because we had a 15,000 increase for February. We had a 10,000 increase for March.
I
What
believe
was
that's
January?
the largest 2-month movement we've
Yes.
had by probably a lot.
So the median price of 460,000. What does that really mean? That means good luck finding anything under 460,000.
Basically, yeah. And then going back to why the condos and townhomes become more popular, because yes, single family residences, you can see they're up there 460, and then so people are going to start snooping around on those condos and townhomes because it's still better to own, even if it's a condo, townhome, whatever.
Don't be paying somebody else's note.
And yeah,
invest in your future.
We're talking about the numbers again. I'm just going to flip through this real quick, but most people understand we're talking about the sales, but what is driving that is the rental costs. A lot of that, at least, is driving that, right?
Right. And which, if we talk about rentals, I had a side note on rentals, so we'll might as well just dig deep into it.
I didn't mean to.
Oh no, that's okay. Which let me get this. My glasses on. Sorry. So the typical rental rate in Las Vegas for February was $1,805 per month.
Oh my dear Lord.
Okay.
Yeah. It wasn't long ago that it was about half that.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, $1,800 is the typical rent in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you wanted to find an apartment, a 3-bedroom apartment, they're probably $1,600 for a rinky-dinky 1,100 square foot apartment.
Yeah.
So then it says that this is up almost 33% from 2 years ago that Zillow had reported, and that Las Vegas housing market will continue to rise from now through summer if we continue to see low inventories, meaning that not only will the prices increase, but so will rent.
Yeah.
And rent, to me, once it goes up with rent, it's hard to come back down.
Yeah. Do you know what a cattle prong is? Do you know what it is?
I don't.
All right, I'm sure some people know what a cattle prong is, but it's actually terrible what they do. But they herd cattle and they use this little thing that electrocutes.
Yeah, I was gonna say it shocks them, right? Yeah.
Okay, that's what's happening with the rental market. It's like the cattle prong of our real estate. It's like just buy, just get out of this rental. Because there you go. All that movement we're talking about, all that cost that, people are very motivated, and it's like as if they've got a cattle prong on their tail.
And I think with the rents being so high, even though we have such low inventory, that will still feed us through, I'm going to predict through summer.
Mm-hmm.
At least, we don't like to predict well in advance, but I think that this market will continue to be this way until at least summer. I'm exploding with new information about what I think is coming next. And one of those things is definitely it's going to be a while till the inventory really gets back. Right. And also, people thought that with the rise of interest rates, we've said that there's going to be 4 or 5 hikes throughout the year to help tame
yes, that's
inflation.
Part of the story. The new story is being written. But yes.
Even though with these increases, it's still smarter to buy now, because who knows when these prices will, it's just going to always keep on going up.
Well, you're going to end up with high prices and high interest rates at some point. Now that will eventually push the market, flatten the market back out, make it more traditional. This is going to take time though. And there's a number of reasons why that'll take time.
How many months, how many years?
Yeah, the inventory is a big part of that, because until you have this inventory come back, you still have the same issue regardless of what it's costing you. Now, something that I think is an astute observation, actually not even by me, one of my clients brought it up, and it's like, oh, duh, how was I missing this? But what's next is kind of, how people are paying above appraisal and all that. It's just really... So what you're going to see is that kind of will flatten out a little bit. We won't see as much of that, but what people will be doing with that money is instead buying down their rate.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
so that makes sense.
That's something that I would advise people to be ready for. Maybe you're going to see, the market not quite doing these $10,000, $15,000 movements every month because people aren't paying above appraisal as much, but we're going to have this still very nice,
steady.
very robust still. But now, instead of maybe having to throw that money towards the appraisal gap, you can throw it towards your interest rate and try to buy that down.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So,
And some other good news I was going to add real quick is many of our clients are approaching the age of 55 or at 55.
Right.
You can actually, one of the very, very, very few places in Summerlin you could still buy at the median price or below. Below
Sun City.
Sun City Summerlin.
Yeah.
There's some houses in there. I was showing them this week.
Yeah, very little though.
Very little.
And
but
if
there's
they're
still
some of them are townhomes, and then you have to worry about the 2 HOA fees when you do that.
This week there was 8 available.
8 out of 7,700 homes.
Yeah.
4 out of the 8 were really, really nice homes.
I will key in on your point a little bit though and said that's just in some Sun City Summer. There's also Anthem. There's other, Sienna. There's other places. So
Yeah, but if you think 8 in the whole scheme of things out of
it's very-
7,700 homes,
there's
is not
there's
a lot.
usually, I would say,
And how
40.
old looking are those homes? How outdated are they? Are they
A lot of them
updated?
are remodels.
Yeah, a lot of remodels.
So what I've seen in
Come
Sun
call
City,
us and get one while you can.
Sun City Summerlin is like 550, 1,600 square foot, where it's like completely gutted, updated to the 9. But I want to go over real quick before we continue is the median price for townhomes and condos. So last month that number was at 260,000, and now it's at 270,000. So they also had another 10,000 increase in median price, which puts them up 3.8% from February and 39.2% from the prior year.
Yeah.
So with everyone shifting from maybe going from single family going to townhome, still
There's the real evidence of the cattle prong.
right.
Get into a condo, don't pay that apartment rent.
Start
at
building
least
equity.
own. Yeah.
Right.
At least own, because it's just so outrageous to pay the rent right now.
So then that brings us to what?
Oh, go ahead. We'll go to you. We got a question
Okay.
there, but
Okay.
glad to have questions. Keep them coming.
The number
We'll
of
answer
new
them.
listings. So this was pretty awesome that I thought, actually, we'll go into this next. The number of new listings was 3,526, was actually up 19.5% from February, but down only 1.1% from the prior year. So this is where we had more listings. So of course, more listings equates more sales because we had more inventory to sell. So
and
then
there was plenty of people ready to chew it up.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Just still not enough. I mean,
Right.
we might have gone up 19%, but it's not enough. And that movement is a traditional springtime movement.
Right. And I think that's why the median price didn't have such a huge increase to 15,000 like the prior month, was because of the listings. There was more listings.
Yeah, just a slight bit more.
Right.
But I mean, we're also, maybe it's starting to hit some, maximums, I don't know. We'll see. I still believe we're going to, we'll talk about it later, but we're going to see more movement in that.
How do you guys
home
feel
price.
the new construction is impacting the inventory right now? It seems to be at a more rapid pace than it was last year.
Well, they're still
lagging, but
they're
they're still increased, I would say, compared to last year.
There's probably more home construction period. So they're getting a hold of more land, trying to build on it, and then those projects are coming to fruition. But boy, they're really getting eaten up too.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of the projects that were planned for future sales, not this year, next year, are starting to reconsider and come into fruition sooner than
As soon as possible.
sooner
Yeah.
rather than later.
If they can get the people to build, if they can get the materials,
That's the
You
main
know?
thing
And that's
right
the
now.
problem, is that I sell a lot of new construction. I probably have 15 under contract for just this year alone.
yeah.
And
That's
lot of
why I was looking at you.
Yeah.
It's like, and
a
I
lot of
think-
my clients are delayed in closing. Like we're supposed to close mid-month this month, and it got delayed because there's the countertops. There's the whole supply chain issue.
Mhm.
And with all these builders, new construction everywhere, I mean, obviously they can't keep up with all the supplies.
Right.
Seems like they're trying every little pocket where there's open spaces. I've even seen it off Cheyenne in 89129, where you would think, those houses have been there for 30 years. And then there's this little pocket of
Yes.
undeveloped land.
Gobble,
And you always
gobble.
thought, when is that going to get built? Oh yeah, now.
Yeah.
Right. Now, the thing with new construction, I had a thought. Oh, well. I mean, I saw a lot of new construction, so there's a lot of pros and cons to new construction as well. Oh, that's what I wanted. And I discussed this in last month's market update. A lot of these builders now, a lot of people buy new construction because they want to be able to select their options. They want to be able to pick all their structural options. They want to be able to pick their upgrades. But what's happening is because the build time has gone from, say, a normal traditional 6 to 10 months, it's going 12 plus months. So what these builders are doing now, Toll Brothers is doing it, TriPoint's doing it, Taylor Morrison's doing it, and now even Pulte's doing it, is they're speccing out the homes.
Yep.
And when I mean speccing, they're speccing everything, the structural options plus all the upgrades.
Here's
So
some generic finishes. Hope
Right.
you like it.
well, no, they don't really do generic. They actually
still
have a
hook 'em up a
team
little
of
bit, yeah.
designers that come and pick out options that a lot of people want, with the beautiful quartz countertops, the beautiful engineered hardwood flooring. They make sure that there's no carpeting. They choose nice options that are in high demand,
Right.
like
Yeah.
especially the 12-foot sliders. That's a structural option that's very high demand, where they can open
They
it.
just put it in the price. and
Right.
Here you go. We made all these hopefully great choices.
Executive decisions for
Yeah.
you.
Right.
You're gonna love
Yeah.
them.
So there's
Yeah.
pros and cons to that, because I had some clients that wanted to buy in a new community that opened up, Toll Brothers Sky Canyon, called Valera. And when they first released those models, all those options had been selected and they weren't happy with it. Then they're going to wait for the next lot release. Well, who's to say when the next lot release happens if you're going to get the options that you
Why
want?
would- yeah.
So you're very limited in picking your options.
Yeah, makes sense. Hey, look, they got the buyers for it, so they just let streamline the process. you
Right.
know?
Well, and it helps because instead of the long timeline, it's now 10 months, because
Yeah.
then they started getting all the things approved back in December before they even opened up in
Yeah.
April. So that's where the delay is too, because the city or county or whatever that has to approve those floor plans are behind.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. So I mean, one of the things that I think that you got to worry about it a little bit if you're buying the new home, and you tell me what your clients have been saying. You're gonna buy it. You're gonna get that new home. You're getting into contract. It's gonna take 10 months, 12 months.
Right.
We know interest rates are going up. Okay.
Right.
So what happens to do we start seeing some? I mean, I don't want to talk about the bad word fallout, but how do these things get affected? Right now, not so much.
Well, they are, because I have a client we're closing in May with TriPoint,
Okay.
and the interest rate, we know the interest rates average right now in America 4.1 and change.
No. It's up. It's 4.7. It's actually it hit
Close to
5.
5.
It hit 5.
What?
It's it was
Couple
4.7 and
days, yeah.
change a day ago. So,
Oh, well,
yeah.
so I read that the average was for last month, I suppose. So
Yep, that would make sense.
Yeah, so he was
We're not
quoted
going
at
back below 4.
4.75. So yeah, that's the caveat of buying new construction. Say you bought last year and it's not going to be ready till this year. Interest rates were low then, but now the interest rates are high. So that goes back to the question of buying down your points.
If you can do that, yeah, you definitely. I think it's worth it. I think it's always worth it. And now, if you know that your fixed cost is on this new home, here's the fixed cost. I basically got into it several months ago. They've made increases on that price. I'm already buying basically equity.
Right.
Let me use some cash to drop my interest rate. That
Right.
might be a smart move.
That'll save you for 30 years.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get to this life journeys question. Speaking of
we
buying
just
down,
answered
at what price point would it be worth it to buy down rates?
At what price point? I mean,
Everybody's budget is.
yeah. I certainly think the higher you go, the more it would make sense.
Right.
Obviously, because
Obviously.
you're borrowing more money, and the interest rate ends up being is more. But I think if you can afford it at any price point, get your rate as low as possible.
Right.
You're just helping yourself out in the
in the
future.
long run.
Now there are some calculations to make and what that might cost you to buy it down and everything. So
Speak to your lender.
yeah. So there you go. This is wonderful. We nailed it. So Life Journey says you are.
And he didn't use us. No, I'm just kidding.
You are explaining my exact situation. I
Hey.
bought a quick sale, new construction. Okay, so does that mean it's already built? Quick sale, new construction was this?
Who's the builder?
Yeah, that doesn't. I guess that doesn't really matter. But you're
Right.
in that situation and you're wondering if you should buy down the rate. My answer is yes.
if you can afford it.
If you can do it, I think so. I think so. I think you should. It's just money that you're going to save yourself in the future. Yep. And I'm going to say so they're saying they're at $1 million. Is that 1 million? Should I buy down? I say anything over $1 million is almost a no-brainer. Like
Right.
you, especially again, if you don't have to go in with all this extra money to pay above appraisal and things.
2, it also depends on 1, how much you're putting down, and 2, is it a jumbo
Yes.
loan? Because depending on how much you're putting down,
Sure.
right?
There
Because
are,
usually
yeah,
jumbo
caveats.
loans, the interest rates are going to be a lot higher than if it was a traditional loan.
Well, it depends.
Yeah.
There's a lot of it depends.
A lot of caveats.
Completion due in June. I think you're in a good territory.
Toll Brothers.
Consider buying down the rate. You're going to be complete in June. It's not too far. There might be another rate or movement, or maybe 2 by then, if they stay on track.
If they said 4, then when they did the height,
They said 7
Wow.
total. Yeah.
Because it was just went up to 4.25, or like went up a quarter of a point.
But see, it's not. Of course, the Fed rate doesn't just. So the Fed rate isn't automatically tied to the mortgage rate. It's
Right.
not like the same. Although it follows right along. Mortgage rates will go up if the Fed rate goes up. The other thing that dictates that is the market, is the stock market, and so on, and bond market. So there are other factors, and those factors are unfortunately making rates go higher at this point right now. Now, if say the war in Ukraine was to subside, they might drop the rates substantially, but we can't expect something like that. That's just an example. Okay.
Right. All right, let's finish up this number.
VA loan. Okay, cool. You got a VA loan. You already have a low rate, so that's good.
VA
That's
loan,
really
but
good.
you're not putting any money down.
So yeah, use
You
the
have
money to
extra
buy
money
it down.
Yeah.
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 No brainer.
Woo.
All right, so then that puts us the availability, which I thought this number was a shocker. It says the total number of houses, 2005 single family houses listed without offers at the end of March. Last month, that number was 1,741. So we increased almost by 300 homes that didn't have any
Yeah.
offers, which is up 15.2% from the prior month and up 13.1% from the prior year. So I mean, just last year,
There's a few sellers out there that are price tagging it.
There you go.
Way too high. So if you see a house that's sitting on the market for a while, that's the number one reason. It's priced too high.
right.
We call those make me move listers. All right.
Which brings us to the months of supply. It actually went from 0.7 months last month to 0.6 months of inventory supply, which is still down 11.5% from February, but up 28.8% from the prior year. And if anyone remembers, we were at the 0.5 mark last year. Our inventory last year was super anemic, more so than this year. But here's the indication. This is an interesting indication, which I find interesting, that we had 2005 homes listed with offers, but 82.8% of the closings for the month of March were only on the market for 30 days or less, which is actually a very good number.
Yes.
So I don't know why there was more homes left without offers if they're selling at a faster rate.
Well, we had more listings come on.
True, but we also had more sales.
Yeah. Well, we're getting a little bit more hangover, and I think what Chris mentioned is really that's what I'm seeing. I mean, I've got a few listings in some areas, and I've been waiting for some of these sales to sell, before I was putting them on, and they're still there. And
Right.
I'm just, it's exactly what Chris said.
They're asking for too much, and if they're not, they're getting gobbled.
Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of
Exactly.
an A or B scenario right now.
Right. And then that brings us to, in February, this number was at 76.8%. And in March 2021, it was at 74% of the closings were 30 days or less.
Yeah. Well,
So that's actually, believe it or not, unless you guys want us to go over condos. Actually, there was one thing I wanted to point out in condos. There's only 394 homes listed in condos. So we're at about 2,400 single family homes, condos, and townhomes listed without offers in the entire Las Vegas Valley, not including new construction, where we have over 2 million people.
Wow.
That's not a lot of housing
no.
to support the amount of people wanting to relocate here. All right, let's see what Mr. Life Journey says. Latest news I saw today says mortgage rate is over 5% now. That's crazy. Are you looking at it?
Yeah. See, jumbo is actually a little lower, right?
Really?
Yeah. But this is not giving me the full. Anyway, you guys continue.
Well,
on
we
here.
have
There it
15
is,
people watching.
4.75.
4.75, and it also depends on your interest. I mean, not interest credit.
There are
Yeah.
other factors,
Yeah.
so
Right.
we always want to mention that. Best rate might be 4.75, but if you have some things going on, then you're going to have over 5 potentially if you're at like 640 or something credit score. I don't know. I don't want to get into lender territory too much.
It's not our area of expertise.
Yeah.
All right, we got a question. You
Yeah.
want to read it? 'Cause
Yeah, I'll
this
read
thing
it,
is in the
sure.
way.
Other than the high interest rates and fewer people buying because of them, what other ways do you think we'll see an unload of inventory? So in other words, I think you're saying more inventory. How else will we start seeing more inventory come on the market? So he's saying because people are kind of backing off the market and the interest rates are getting higher, so the inventory might start to pile. What other ways do you think inventory will start to stack up?
I don't.
I don't either. Not this year.
Build
more.
I think those things, but also, okay. So I will say something that I think is pertinent. Sellers hate to be the last in line for that to get the high, right? So nobody wants to be the last seller to get the high. Okay, so I think if I was to say that could motivate people to say, you know what, I want to get in on this market.
I better get in on the summer.
Yeah, I better get in on it. And they might come in a little late and start adding to the stacking of inventory, thinking that they had time, but things sometimes could happen quickly. This is the hard part to know. But that mentality, let's say, could add to that kind of unload of inventory that you're talking about there.
Right. The only caveat is when the sellers sell, where are they going to go?
Well, big time.
I mean, okay,
Absolutely.
Are they going to buy a house and a lateral move and then spend more money on that house that has the same options that their current house has?
Yeah.
Or if they're going to move out of state, across the country, everyone's experiencing the same issue.
Sure.
The housing market is just gone absolutely nutso. So, and who wants to move out of state because Vegas is so awesome, right?
Vegas is pretty hard to beat.
It's hard to beat, but there are people moving. And I will
Right.
tell you, one of the reasons why, that you're having these high list prices is because of the costs to move.
Yes.
So people are realizing, hey, yeah, you know what? I can do this. I'd like to do this. If I can get this number, then it's worth it for me to do this. Right.
Right.
So, but you got to get a number that can help you with all of the costs that are involved.
And another big thing that I'm seeing lately is because it's April and a lot of these are family homes and school doesn't get out till May or June. I'm seeing lease back. Lease back has
For
been
sure.
a very big thing
Yeah.
where sellers don't want to move until the end of May. So they're taking advantage
Yeah.
of the peak of the market and knowing that, right now may be the highest that they can sell their home. So then in the terms, they're going to say, sure, we'll sell our home.
Yeah.
Pay millions or thousands of dollars over asking price, waive the appraisal, yada, yada. But
Yeah.
I want to rent back for free for 2 months.
Yeah.
I just had one close that absolutely happened,
Yep.
and it had nothing to do necessarily in this case with children and
Oh.
getting out of school. It was just
Lots of
I'm a
reasons.
seller and I'm in a very powerful situation.
I
And
want
if
an
you
extra
want
2 weeks.
my house,
Right.
I want it. They said they want it for a month. I'm like,
Yeah.
how about 2 weeks? And we met in the middle of 3 weeks. But I'm like, oh my goodness, this
Yeah.
is tough.
Sure.
Tough for the buyers.
Well, check it out though. If you're a buyer, why would you agree to that?
because you want the house so bad.
That's a big one. But we've been
And
talking a
because
lot
the
about
prices
it.
keep on going up.
Yeah.
So if you
Prices
don't buy
go
it
up,
now,
interest rate goes up.
Yep.
So let me lock in. Let me give you that 30 days, and then
Yep.
I'll walk on into that home.
Yep.
And I'll be happy because I made a good decision.
Right.
Exactly.
Michael has a
Yeah.
question. He says, do new builders in Vegas pay commission to real estate agents?
All right, that's a-
Absolutely.
well,
but
no.
Depends on the builder.
That's a caveat.
Yes and no.
And
I
that
guess.
changes weekly and monthly sometimes
Yeah.
as well.
The ones I'll work with.
Right.
That's what I'm going to
Well,
say.
all right. So these builders,
Hmm.
the only one builder that's not been paying commission is Lennar. They do, however, pay in Summerlin, so that's and
Yeah.
that's my area of focus.
And that's
so
where I'd like to be selling. So
so
otherwise, they're low on the list.
which
Lennar.
is sad because I could have sold probably 10 more new construction homes this year
Right.
if it was Lennar, because the best thing about Lennar is their next gen suites. And I could
They
have
have some
sold
good stuff.
those like left and right,
Yeah.
no problem.
That's what they know. They know.
But you know
Bottom
what?
line is, you're the client. We will take you wherever you want,
Except for a Lennar home. I will
but
not.
unless it's in Summerlin.
Right.
Well, listen, Ange is making a great point, and you're also making a great point. Listen, I think yes, we want to accommodate whatever's best for the buyer, but Ange is also saying, hey, look, I don't work for free.
Right.
That's crazy, So there's gonna be like, hey, you need that Lennar home, you don't need me.
I can help you and refer you to the agent you need to talk to and
Yeah.
do some research on the end. But ultimately, at the end of the day, we don't get paid until the house closes. So we are working for free.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, granted, we do get paid well, but there's a lot of moving parts and a lot that we do. We lose our life. We're working 24/7, 7 days a week. I have people calling me.
10 p.m. calls.
Yeah,
I mean,
people calling me. I'm
anything.
coming the weekend. I want you to show me houses.
Right. Or actually, when it does close and they're out of state, they go, I'm not going to be there for 2 weeks. Could you let the cleaner in?
Well,
Could you do
that's a
this for the
service
house?
I'm
Could
going
you
to
do that
do.
for the
That's
house?
a
Of
service
course.
I'll do
Of
for
course
my
we're gonna do
clients.
this. But just an example of, we
Right.
always go
But the
above and
point
beyond
is
to
that
accommodate.
you made me lose my point.
Life
Well,
journey
you don't
never
want to
like
work for
Lennar
free. You
anyways,
don't want to
so,
work for
yeah.
free. There's a
I don't
lot
want
to
to work
it.
for free. Oh, so there's about 15,000 real estates in the market, and I would say we're in the top 2% of real estate agents. So we're very busy. I don't have my weekends are full. And if you call me the day before, I'm coming to town, I want you to help me out, blah, blah, blah.
It's tough right now.
I'm sorry. I can't drop what I'm doing. I already have clients that made the appointment with me weeks in advance. So just be a little considerate. And obviously, yes, you can go find another agent, the other 15,000 agents that are working in Las Vegas that may not be as experienced as us.
Yeah.
But then are you going to be losing out because of the expertise, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't have the experience with the negotiation skills.
You got to go with who rocks for you.
Right.
However that works, go
Right.
with them.
But also be considerate.
Yeah. Hey, if you want to be considerate, though, there's somebody out there that'll handle that for
True.
you.
True.
No, not me. I'm
Not
saying
you.
sayonara. It might not be me.
Say la vie.
I'm not. Look, I think we attract who we're supposed to be working with.
Oh, totally. Totally.
So people get that.
Our vibe attracts our tribe, and I agree with that 100%.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's see. Any more questions? Yeah. I never Lennar, there's pros and cons to Lennar. I think they do a good job with their everything included package. Their next gen suites are just, absolutely gorgeous, where you have a full kitchenette, a living room area, washer and dryer, an entry to the
It's basically
garage.
an
The
apartment.
Pulte has that too.
Yeah, but you're paying
More expensive.
500,000 more for
Yeah.
a Pulte, and that's an extra cost to do it. Where Lennar offers that next gen suite as part of the house, no ifs, ands, or buts.
Right.
I would not talk about the builder or their quality, but I do think what they're doing is short-sighted in the long run. When they do that, they definitely cause a stigma that they can have to their thing. Now, look, maybe in the long run it won't matter to them, and they're making that calculation.
Right. And Rob and I have always talked about land and about how Las Vegas has expanded over the years in the last 20 years. And the only way, east and west is pretty much gobbled up. So the only way to go is north and south.
Mm-hmm.
And then
That's true.
once you start going north, how much further are you going to be away from everything? Once you go south, you're still a little close to the strip. However, you got to deal with all the Californians coming on the 15, that whole.
The roadways aren't quite,
Right.
where they need to be yet.
Right.
So it's a little.
Especially in
You're
the
several
Southwest.
minutes. You're several minutes off the freeway. Right? And look, people coming from California, you're not going to care about that.
No.
I can assure you. But if
we
you've been
don't
here,
have traffic jams.
yeah.
Like
But if you've
big
been
metropolis
here,
cities, we don't.
if you've been here in Vegas a while and you got to drive 15, 20 minutes off a freeway to get home, that's
not cool.
That's hampering you. We're not used to that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I like the northwest part of the valley, because it's away from
It's
all
true,
of
right.
that.
It's
We're
true.
4 or 5 minutes off.
We have wonderful areas for everybody, but they're getting gobbled up, and I think that's what your point is. You know, a lot of my mother, who's been in the real estate business my entire life, talks about San Francisco a lot. Now, listen, San Francisco has a number of reasons why they exploded, but they filled out that area at one point, and then what happened? Real estate went up, and then they had to start building up, and then so Vegas actually stands to do that. We have much less territory, much less area than San Francisco ever had as far as that Bay Area is concerned, and we are getting filled up. And at some point,
there was a time in the mid 2000s where they were starting to build up.
Yeah, the condo idea.
Well, yeah, that's all on the strip.
But we're gonna fill out. Yes. And then what happens there? So the long term of Vegas looks like we will continue to go up. We might have a little bit of a waviness in between that, but you say 10, 20 years down the road when there's no land left.
Well, there's going to be land, but it's going to go all the way to Indian Springs.
Well, that's not Vegas,
right? It's not Vegas anymore.
Not Vegas.
But if we go past Kyle Canyon, the exit for
which
Mount
is right there, right?
That's not really.
Well, you have
anymore.
Sunstone right there now.
Yeah, that's
you could be
getting a little crazy.
You want to be in Pahrump? Cool. No, whatever.
I will sell. What is your options for? Oh, that's funny. What do you mean? What is your opinion? Oh, okay, Kim, you know her?
Yeah, I was just talking to her.
Oh,
Is
this your client?
Yeah.
Hi, Kim. How's it going? Well, my opinion of Trilogy Sunstone is if you go to my website, summerlincommunities.com, select communities and Trilogy is, or see all my videos that I've done on Trilogy Sunstone it's a very beautiful master plan community for 55 plus and over. Actually, it has an 80-20 rule where you can be 50 plus and older. But the only caveat or the only problem that I see with this one is there's going to be beautiful amenities, but the HOA fees are redonkulous.
They're a little stiff.
They're over $300 a month once
area.
all the communities are going to be developed.
Homes.
Yeah, but they have a lot they're offering.
Yeah.
Right.
That. So
right.
they're making a calculation there and saying, hey, we want to keep these people. Yes,
and the prices are
active.
very reasonable.
Yeah.
And the Trilogy, you can get some townhomes which are 1,600 square foot in the high 300s.
Mm-hmm.
Their lot premiums aren't extremely high either. And then the amenities that are going to be there are pretty awesome. Plus, that's going to be a growing up and coming area soon where they're going to have lots of amenities.
Similar to like a Sky Canyon, I feel.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
So Kim, when you come to town, we'll go check those out.
So what's this casino near Tola?
It's at Durango. It's Durango Casino.
Station. They've been
talking
about
Station.
that. They've been talking about that for 20 years.
They're doing it.
They're doing
it, baby. Is it next to the Uncommons?
What do we know about it?
It's in Sky Canyon.
We know it. We know what you know. It's
going
to be a casino.
Well, it's not near. I mean, maybe 5 minutes away from Aviano, but it's if you just head north on I don't know what those streets are, but it's just slightly next to maybe behind that Smith's and a little behind that, where that Smith's is.
Yep, right when you got freeway there. Yep.
Yeah. I love Sky Canyon. That's probably my second favorite.
They've really hooked it up. When it first started, it kind of looked like, oh, this is modest, and then suddenly it went.
The only thing I see with Sky Canyon is not having any townhomes or condos in there.
That's not a thing that I would dislike if I was a homeowner there. Personally, I would
because
enjoy
if
that.
I was a young person that wanted to take advantage of the Sky Canyon amenities, however, I did not want to buy a single family home, then I think, I'm not saying apartments, I'm saying buying townhomes that are a little more reasonable in price.
So I'm going to be a little bit of an old codger here and say, I'm happy that I wouldn't have those neighbors and their young whippersnappers coming in whatever. I'm just kidding a little bit, but single family homes, minus the close by apartments, condos, and townhomes
on the other side.
I want my community to be all single family homes if I can.
Right.
And if you've been up to Sky Canyon at the Smith's grocery store, Oh my goodness. They have a wine bar that you could sit at and relax.
Nice.
And
Well, have you been to the Sky Bar up there?
it's pretty nice.
Oh my God. And the food is friggin' phenomenal. I love going to the Sky Bar.
So Sky Canyon.
Every
all
time I'm
around
showing
is
houses
thumbs
up there, I'll have a lunch date up in Sky Bar and enjoy the food up there.
You guys are a couple of lushes.
I don't drink. You know I don't
I
drink.
know. I'm just messing with you.
I just like the food.
I'm not going to turn down a drink. I'll be honest about it.
So we were going to talk about rents. Do you have any other insights?
Don't pay it. Call us and we'll get you into a house or condo.
I get just personally. Well, when we do our outro, I got lots to say about where things are going. So,
Outro.
well, when we get when we're
In conclusion,
concluding things.
Well, we can conclude now because there's not much else to talk about.
Yeah.
And we're 40 minutes. Okay, folks, we got 23 people watching. Now is the time to ask your questions. Otherwise, we're going to have our conclusion and our thoughts for next month's numbers.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I have a listing going live next week in
Woo-hoo.
Summerlin North. It's a 4-bedroom home with a loft, I think 2,800 square feet, 3-car garage in the Hills Village, part of Cherry Creek, if you know about that subdivision. We're going to possibly list it at 675, maybe 700, but it's a very desirable home that a lot of my clients, I think it'll sell very fast. And
Yeah.
Rob has a listing
I got two.
too.
I got two. I got a large lot on well over half an acre, 5-bedroom with a casita,
Ooh,
paid off solar, 1-story,
ooh,
pool, spa.
wow.
Just a jammer that's
a
gonna
unicorn.
be coming on in I'm putting it on today. It's $1,099,888. That's where we're starting that price at.
You and your eights.
Did you say 1.1, please? I think I got
1.9.
It's basically
1.9.
1.1.
Oh,
It's
1.1988888. So basically 1.2.
1.99.
Nice.
It's actually 1.1. Let's just say it's 1.1
Thank you.
because it's probably going to sell over that
Oh,
number.
I get it.
All right. So it's on 7390 Hickam. If you want to look that up,
What's the
it's
zip code?
89. Oh gosh, 89. Oh gosh, I'm spacing on the last 89.
Well, let me look at the address.
That's terrible. 89129.
Just tell
Is
us
it?
what are the crossroads?
Oh.
what part of
What's the
town?
address again?
73 is 7930 Hickam. Sorry, 7930. Jeez, I got a lot of stuff in my head right now.
89129.
I was right. Okay, good. 89129.
Hickam.
And I also have
Cheyenne.
one in Reverence coming on. In Reverence, this one is a fantastic home, single-story home. It's a 4, could be a 5-bedroom. Basically, has a den type of situation. It just needs a closet. It is amazing, this home, and that one is going on today as well. I'm gonna have a coming
Oh, it is
soon
going
listing.
today?
Well, I'm gonna have a coming soon listing by the end of the
Okay.
day,
All right.
or by tomorrow morning. But either way, it's coming on quick, and it is on 3031 Full Lotus. And that is up in Reverence, and that zip code is
Does it have a view?
89138.
8913.
The
Thank
homes
you.
on the east side of the
Um,
street on Full Lotus have the view.
It's gonna
It's
have the
mountain.
view.
It's
Mountain
mountain
view.
view,
Got it.
and this view is amazing. It's got those slider doors that opens up, so you have your family room, kitchen that opens into this, and dining room opens into these, and then it has this koi pond. It's unbelievable decking and just
My goal is I'm
Oh.
gonna
Is that
I'm gonna
Patrick's
sell
house?
it this weekend.
yeah.
Your son Patrick's house.
Is this someone you guys know
Yes,
together?
it is.
Someone that plays tennis?
Is it really? I was joking.
No, it is.
That's why he said you owe him a bunch of favors. That's hilarious. I just talked to Patrick this morning.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Everything is meshing. I understand now. That's
Yeah.
hilarious. No, beautiful house. I've been over to Patrick's as well. He's
And
an
it's
avid
behind the
tennis player.
Guard
like
gated
we
part
are.
of Reverence.
So,
He was my nationals partner.
Is that the guy that? Oh, your partner.
Yes.
Yeah, one of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then I got more coming on.
More coming. So they have the listings. I have you buyers. So
Yeah.
you're gonna get a call from me if you don't call me first. I'm just
Yes.
gonna let you know now.
You're gonna see. Chris and I are gonna hang out and do some fun stuff.
Yeah,
together,
we have
so-
an upcoming. We'll just tease it and say we have the stages of a realtor during escrow.
Yeah,
That's
when you
gonna be our
meet the
tease.
stages of meeting a realtor, like from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
Well, Chris
It's
and I
great.
did 2 videos that we're
We
going to
have some
post.
videos. I was going to let you tease that. I'm not going to
Yeah.
bring it up.
Yeah,
Just yet.
Rob and Chris have been playing tennis for quite some time, and I'm a newbie. Even though I played it in high school, that doesn't count. So Chris and I did a video at the Darling Tennis Center.
Awesome.
And then we also did a video of all the tennis and pickleball courts in Summerlin, because we feel that
Sweet.
it's important to know where they all are. Pickleball is sweeping the nation. It's been quite popular. And a lot of these courts, especially if they have more than 4 or 5, they're converting at least one of those courts into a pickleball court.
Yep. Very popular.
Yep. Yeah, they're having to add. Actually, in the Ridges, they're adding a whole
Yes.
pickleball area.
That's why.
Right.
Yes. I
Get
saw
away
that.
from the tennis players.
It's all the way,
Thankfully.
like,
Yes, thankfully they're not just taking over. They already had taken over those last
Yeah.
courts there.
it was 5, right? Court 5, I
Because
think.
we were
Yeah.
playing a match of tennis and all you hear is clink, tink, clink, clink. Pop,
Well, the
pop, pop.
sound isn't.
Well,
What about
funny
the
thing
lines
is
on the
fine.
damn
the
court?
lines
Playing
look
it.
funny, because if I was a pickleball person, I would get confused. What line am I
Right.
supposed to
Yeah,
be
Of
on?
course, yeah. So,
Gotta have
well,
the-
imagine being a tennis person who's never had that, and then suddenly they're there, and they're like, "Oh, I got to deal with these." And they're always bright lines. They're always like,
Did you see that picture I posted of the house that had the pickleball court?
Yeah,
That,
I've shown a few houses with pickleball courts.
I would love to have that house.
Yeah.
It was at $4 million in the Ridges.
We'll just have to jump in and do a tournament and just
Yeah.
take over.
So
Yeah.
tennis has
Sometime.
become my life. I play 3 or 4 times a week now.
Wow.
I know.
Wow. Don't
Yeah.
get out! Don't get out there more than me now. Kim had one more question.
Wait.
Yeah.
Another thing I started taking up, and I'm going tonight. Roller skating.
It's back. Crystal Palace,
Crystal
baby.
Palace, baby.
Yes.
I'm going roller
We're
skating
going
tonight.
OG.
Old school.
OG in
I
Vegas.
bought some black old school
You going over there to
skates
Rancho?
with
There
the
it
wheels
is.
that light up.
Let's
Yeah.
have
Oh
the
my
next
God.
birthday party. at
I'm gonna do
Crystal
a video.
Palace.
I'm gonna do a video on Crystal Palace probably tonight. Oh my God!
Do they
I
still
went.
do the change?
Well, it's adult night. It's for adults.
Is
So
I
I don't
still
know.
think they
left
should
to
do the
right?
change.
Change what?
Where they throw the change out on
Oh,
the
Oh,
out there,
but
and
anyway,
you have to go pick
I
it up.
had so much friggin' fun last week that I just I was on a high. It was so much fun. It reminded me of being in junior high. So anyway, let's answer some questions. Life journey Kim.
Yeah, Kim's asked about what's our opinion of Mountain's Edge communities. I'll give mine first. I think Mountain's Edge is a good area. It's pretty. It's a little bit more jam-packed and condensed than some of the areas on the west side. So that's why you'll see the prices being a little bit more reasonable.
Yeah, they used to be way more reasonable because it was further out, right? It's basically as far south as you can go. There's a little bit of land behind Mountain's Edge, but I think it's BLM anyway. So it's a little way off the freeway. That's the kind of area I'm talking about when you have to drive 15-20 minutes off the freeway.
Even more south than Blue
Yeah.
Diamonds. Like
Kinda
you
like
really got to
Anthem
drive
Henderson.
to get.
But I
the
think
freeway.
people who live in Mountain's Edge actually like it very much. They
Right.
do like some of that seclusion, if you
and
will.
people from California, that doesn't bother them.
Not at all. Not at all. That's a very nice spot. And the commercial has now started to build up, and they have stores and things around there. For a while,
Along
they
the
didn't
Boulder
have
High-
that.
I mean, what is it?
They didn't have.
What's that freeway called that leads?
Oh,
Blue Diamond.
Blue
yeah.
Diamonds.
My opinion is the area is actually beautiful. However, to get to the area, not so great
Just a little way. Yeah.
you go down Buffalo, Durango, Jones,
Rainbow.
Rainbow, whatever. The roads there are not fully developed.
When they
And-
get that done, it's going to be much
Yeah,
better.
but who knows how long, because it's
It's-
been like 5 years
It's been
already.
10. No, it's been 10,
10,
12
yeah.
years.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So, and then if you want to get to the strip, you're going to go down Blue Diamond to the 15. So people think, oh, it's close to the strip and yada, yada. But in reality, it's going to take you just as long from from Mountain's Edge if you were all the way in Sky Canyon.
Right.
Because of the
Same amount of time.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
you said, it's further in the northwest or Summerlin, but it's
Right.
same amount of time or faster.
Still
if you hop on the freeway.
relatively not that far. And so most people who, especially if you're not from here and you're used to a more sprawling city life, that's not going to bother you at all. I think for some people who have lived here a long time and expect to be able to get around them a little more easily, that's where, like for us, it's like, no, I don't want to be all the way out there.
We're spoiled. To be
Yeah.
honest about it.
All right. So Life's Journey had a question. What's your opinion on Tesla Solar in Las Vegas area for solar panels? Solar wall worth getting? Solar wall.
Solar wall. I think they're talking about the battery.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, yes. If you buy a
Well, the 220 outlet, is that what they're talking about? Solar.
no,
What's
I
a
think they're
solar
talking
wall?
about the battery. I think they're talking about the battery, which so Tesla offers the solar, and then you can have a battery that stores the energy for you, which is wonderful, but that is very expensive. I want one badly for my home, but I want the price to come down because they're about 20 grand for the battery. And I can hook up a Tesla battery to. You can hook up a Tesla battery to a existing solar system. It has to go through the process and all this stuff, even with NV Energy. I love solar. I have good references for solar companies. I don't like leases. That's what I'm going to say on that.
And Sunrun. Don't go with Sunrun.
Is Sunrun bad? Had a hard time?
Well, I've had a couple Sunrun clients at least, and just trying.
Leased? Oh,
Yeah, that's
least
trying.
period.
Yeah, trying to get the transfer over to the new buyer. It's like communicating to a wall. I mean,
Yeah.
you get nowhere, and it
Terrible.
took forever. But ultimately, if you're going to go the solar route, we highly recommend do not lease it at
Yeah,
all.
don't lease it.
Don't
It's
lease
an
it.
albatross on the home, in my opinion.
Yep. So yeah, that wraps things up. Do you have any conclusions?
Yeah, check me out on Rob Howe Rockstar Realtor on YouTube. Lots and lots of. I've been bursting with stuff that's coming into my mind. We don't have a ton of time for Rob to just sit here and tell you.
Rob, and plus Rob wants to share his thoughts for his channel. He doesn't like to disclose everything he's thinking.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, you look,
You have to
you
tease.
know how it is.
Right.
You gotta have your content. You know.
Right.
And don't forget to check out our website, Summerlin Communities, correct?
Yep.
You're going to start seeing some of those tennis
And you're going
videos
to
pop up.
start seeing Chris more and more on the videos. Pretty soon you'll see him and not me anymore. I'm going to start eventually. I mean, it's still me, but
Yeah.
I have
get
a
into that
team.
semi-retired life.
I have a team, and Lori, my other buyer's agent, who's my assistant as well. I have a team, and I'm the brand of the thing.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
that's
I know
why you gotta
everything
be
and
on video.
anything. Yeah, of course. All right. So anyway, enough about that. So let's
We're
make
getting you from both sides here, Ange. Don't you know? All right, we're
All
gonna
right. If I
start
can
it
do
off.
the videos and then I pass them on to the team, then if you guys
Yeah.
understand that, then Chris will be helping you out,
I'm here for you.
right?
Talk to you soon.
So market predictions. So my thoughts are, I want to think about this. I honestly think if we still continue with less inventory, we will probably see another $10,000 median price increase for next month.
Mhm.
How do you feel?
So yeah, I would side on a $10,000 increase. I think we are going to see more inventory. This could be anecdotal to my own activity, but it makes me believe that we're going to see more inventory. But it's still not going to be enough to feed what is going to be a surging buyer market that wants to get in before these interest rates get too high.
And also the sellers, the reason we're starting to see probably we'll get a surge of inventory is because now school is going to be ending. People are smart and not want to do it the traditional spring selling season.
Absolutely.
And then
have you seen the flowering out there?
Oh, it's so beautiful.
It's gorgeous in Vegas.
I love
allergies
Vegas.
are killing me. Yes.
I've been blessed with no allergies.
Wow.
But right now the weather's been in the 70s, a couple of 80s, and one day was 90. But January, our weather's in the 60s. February, I mean, we'll get a couple cold spells here and there, but for the most part, the weather, especially month of March, was just absolutely gorgeous.
It's
one of
this
the
is
best months.
we get the bookends in Vegas, and the one thing about knowing that the fiery hot summer is coming, it helps you enjoy the heck out of it when you don't have it. You're like, I'm getting out. Tennis players here. I'm getting out and playing a lot of tennis. I'm going to get out in the open and I'm going to enjoy this.
Get your vitamin D.
If you're in California, you might be like, oh,
I'll get around to it later. It's always next week.
Yep. Not here. You better take advantage of it while you can. So
Exactly.
a little contrast is actually good for really.
I have spring fever. Let me
enjoying it.
tell you.
Yeah.
I have major spring fever. I want to be out all day long.
Good. you're getting some color too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I walk every
Next
day
thing she'll
for an
take golf
hour.
up.
Yeah.
You know what? That's funny you say
Here we
that.
go. Here it comes. Now doing golf videos for you
Funny
guys.
that you say that. I do want to do videos on golf courses.
Okay. I'm
Um,
gonna dust off my clothes.
last year I was going to start taking up golf. I always wanted to do tennis and golf.
Well, you're never gonna see it.
I mean, the golf course is so freaking
Oh,
beautiful.
it's so beautiful.
And I may not play well. And for me, you know what? It's all about the
I
experience.
can see the divots.
It's about the beauty. It's about just being out there. If I don't play well, I don't give a flying fart.
Floppy disk.
Yeah. I just want to enjoy it. But Angel Park. Have
Very
you played
nice.
at
Yeah.
Angel Park?
Yep.
My friend Joey and I used to do putt over there, and then they also have that little miniature golf course right there. That's what Vegas needs more of. We need more miniature golf courses. I grew up in Florida.
Scandia's long gone.
Yeah, that's been long
Yeah.
gone. I grew up in Florida where they had
It's
a
not-
million, not a
Scambia.
million, but
It's now
Scambia.
area.
We used to call it
51.
Scambia.
51.
Yeah.
Because we'd go and like make out with the scam.
So golf is on the
Teenage
idea.
years he's talking about.
I'm getting ready to retire, folks, so I got to take up golf and tennis
There you go.
Clearly.
Pickleball.
and
And
pickleball.
just thinking well ahead here.
Yeah.
I like it.
Anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching. We've had a great audience, great comments, great feedback. Let us know in the comments what you think. And as always, I've always posted a full link to the full realtor report for this, so you can look at all the numbers in greater detail. What are your thoughts? I forgot of what the median price is going to increase.
Yeah. For April, I only actually think it's going to go up 5,000, and I think we're going to have a little dip in the amount of sales that we have from April compared to March. That's my
That's
take.
good. I like that we have some variance.
Right.
And I also like that you kind of did like the little Price is Right thing,
Yeah.
Just like
I
I did
was-
the
I was
15,000
thinking-
last.
Yeah,
or
I was
was it-
thinking he was either going to go, 10,001
Yeah.
or, I'll drop it down below and just
2
say,
months
Bob-
ago, you
Bob
said
Barker
15 and I did 20, and you hit the nail on the
bang on.
head. Yeah.
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 It's a little luck.
So if you want to have fun, guys, we're the realtors for you. Leave a comment down in the description below what you think of this market update, and if we should add Chris more into our market updates. I guess they will be doing a video together, and stay tuned to Chris and I's video that we
We're
will
gonna
be doing.
It'll be short. It's not gonna be these
no,
type
no.
of
Okay.
videos. Yeah.
But Chris and I are also going to do Rhodes Ranch.
Yep.
We're going
Yeah,
to do a
Rhodes Ranch
drive-through
next week.
tour of Rhodes Ranch next week. We were going to do it today, but the market update came in. So ideally is that my thoughts, and I keep on talking, I am a talker, is that not only do homes, I think neighborhoods sell the home. And that's why I've always been Summerlin centric, Desert
Mhm.
Shore centric, Sky Canyon centric, because yeah, you can buy a nice home and then maybe eventually upgrade it, but it's the neighborhood that you're buying into, in my opinion.
Right. When you drive into an area, you get a emotional response. You get a feeling.
Right.
And if you don't, then maybe that's not the neighborhood for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like to coin the phrase "West Side is the best side."
Yes. As Jim Morrison would say, the West is the best. Anyway, guys.
Oh wow. Trippy.
No hippies
I
here,
love,
clearly.
I love my Jim Morrison.
I love the doors.
Anyway, folks, thank you so much for watching.
Yeah.
We can do our bit, but normally Rob will say,
Rock on.
and do it peacefully. And you can say, we'll see you on the next one.
Let's
See
do
you on the
that.
next
All
one.
right, let's do it. All right. So thank you so much for watching,
Rock on.
and do it peacefully.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Woo! Yeah. Good job.